the 1957 most popular romantic movie scene I watched. And it is such a classic for so many reasons. It is starring Cary Grant and Deborah Kerr in An Affair to Remember. A woman named Terry McKay and a man named Nicky Ferrante meet on board of a cruise line ship. They have a spark between them, an undeniable spark that they cannot escape from. They cannot deny the spark and magnetism between them. And so their love affair starts on board this ship. Now, the tricky thing is that both of them are engaged to be married. So you can imagine that on board this ship, they are actually trying their best to keep their distance and not cross that line. The attraction, the spark, the undeniable connection between them was so great that they just could not ignore it. The special thing is that the movie is in color, and I was also really excited to know that I had watched Cary Grant and several other films in black and white, and so I really enjoy him in movies. He has so much charisma, so much of this flair about him. So I was happy to see him in color for the first time in this movie, An Affair to Remember, which is deemed one of the most popular romantic movies of our time. So they meet on board this ship. Their interactions are funny, witty, romantic. They gave me goosebumps sometimes just watching them interact and making sure that they're not like crossing the line, because they're also thinking about where they're going. They're both going to New York, and they're both thinking about, you know, how this would affect their significant others. They just can't help but feel this chemistry, and they can't ignore it. So after some time on the ship, before they get back to New York, they both agree that in 6 months, if this feeling does not change, that they're going to meet each other at the top of the Empire State Building. So they agree. In 6 months, they're going to meet if they're still thinking about each other and the attraction that they felt doesn't fade and it's still there. There were so many parts and aspects of this movie that I thoroughly enjoyed. There were so many pieces of it that brought me to tears almost, and my eyes were like watery, and just made me feel really good in certain parts, several parts, especially a part where Terry, meets Nicky's grandmother, and that whole part of the movie was so special. It was so endearing and touching. I just loved it so much. And even the grandmother could see the connection between Terry and Nicky, and it was so undeniable for her to have seen him and her together, and the way she loves her grandson with all her heart, you know, just like most grandmothers do. But it just comes so vividly to life in this film, the connection of the relationship with his grandmother, the connection with him and Terry. It's just so strong, and the emotions, like this movie took me from the top, you know, of enjoyment and happiness to tragedy, to the feeling of tragedy, because something tragic happens in this film. I'm gonna try my best to leave the significant parts of the movie out, but there is such a connection between them, and that you're gonna just love it. I mean, if you're like me and you love romantic movies, romantic comedies, especially this classic one, you are going to really, really enjoy this movie. It will take you from emotional highs to emotional lows, and in the best way, because you're rooting for, well, I was rooting for a love that existed between the two. And there's tragedy that happens. I should say, like, it practically does tear them apart, and what happens going forward after that tragedy. So there's moments of joy, there's moments of hope, there's heartbreak, there is family ties that are so special you will see in this film. I don't think you're going to be disappointed at all. Cary Grant, he is his classic debonair self. I think this is like the best that I've seen him so far. I have not seen all of his movies, but this definitely tops all of the ones that I've seen so far. Both him and Deborah Kerr just had so much chemistry in this movie. They just played it so well, so well. Deborah Kerr is so elegant, so sophisticated in this movie. You're gonna see this orange dress, and I say orange and I'm like, the color orange doesn't really appeal to me, but I would wear the dress that she had on. This dress was stunning. And the wardrobe, the way all the suits that Cary Grant wore, you know, back then, it was so classic. People really got dressed up for any occasion, just to have dinner. His wardrobe was super fly, and her wardrobe was super elegant, super spectacular. Both of them wore it very well. An Affair to Remember was nominated for 4 Academy Awards. The wardrobe in this film was also nominated for the best costume designs. By the way, this film is a remake of the 1939 movie Love Affair. This movie has such an unforgettable ending. You're not gonna wanna miss a chance to watch this film. If you've seen it before, you know what I'm talking about. The ending just brought tears to my eyes. Like I said, it takes you from different emotions throughout the whole film. It's a roller coaster of emotions. The ending was definitely a tearjerker. There's so much to see in this film. There's so much to experience with this true love story. The glamour of the 1950s is shown throughout this movie. It's just Hollywood glamour. Like I said, the wardrobe was so stunning, spectacular. It was a pleasure to watch that as well. In life, sometimes you have missed opportunities or missed connections with people or missed communications, just things that you didn't act on. And I'm not saying that An Affair to Remember, you know, both of them did not really act entirely on how they felt, because they were engaged to other people. So they tried to keep their ethics and morals in as best as possible, and I think that they definitely did that to the best of their abilities. I think they definitely did that, and they went back home to their significant others, and like I said, they agreed in 6 months. If that feeling was still there between the two, which was super strong, the connection was so big and so grand, that in 6 months, if it didn't fade, that they would soon meet again and under better circumstances. The movie explores second chances. The movie explores and dives into the fact that you wish you had another chance with somebody. An Affair to Remember emphasizes the second chance that you might have in love and life, and what you would sacrifice to have that second chance and go for it, whatever situation that might be, whether it's love, work, or something that you feel like you didn't fully explore to the best of your abilities or wants or intentions. And there's a famous quote from the movie that is very well acknowledged to this day, and it is, and I also posted this in my community section on YouTube, and I asked if you knew where that particular quote came from, what movie it came from. So it is An Affair to Remember, and the quote is, "Winter must be cold for those with no warm memories." Isn't that quite a statement? And winter is even colder if you have no warm, beautiful memories to cherish and look back on. And I think any season, right? It's not as good if you don't have beautiful memories that you can take with you and have in your pocket whenever you want to uplift yourself. You know, you can always look back at different memories that just warmed your heart, and those are beautiful times. There is also a line that Terry says in the end, and I'm not going to say it because it would totally, you know, give away this beautiful part of the movie. And it's just beautiful what she says, because it brings a moment that is so clear between the two. It's so clear that they love each other so much, and she says something so powerful and so positive that it was just a great way to end with those lines, that line that she said. And it just reinstated how connected they still were after those 6 months had passed. Their love, their emotion towards each other did not decrease, it did not fade, but it even got stronger. I watched An Affair to Remember on DVD. I will be watching this probably once or maybe twice a year, because to me it was that good. One thing that I must say, I did want the ending to be longer, because I wanted to see them. I wanted to see more of them, but honestly, it didn't take away from how great the movie is, how great I felt watching this movie, the emotional connection that I got with these two characters, wanting them to actually be together, wanting to see their growth, wanting to see this tragedy unfold, to figure out certain things that happened. And anyway, I watched it on DVD, and this is a movie that I am going to be watching every year. And I normally don't like watching movies over and over again, so it has to be something that I really, really loved and enjoyed, and this one is a number one for me. If you don't have the DVD, I think you can watch it on certain streaming networks. You might be able to watch it on Amazon Prime or Fandango if you have it. It was on Netflix many years ago. I don't think that it's on there now. You can also buy the DVD. If you have a DVD player, you can go ahead, and I would definitely buy it, because this movie, like I said, you're gonna want to watch over and over again because it's that good. So this movie will make you laugh, it'll make you cry, it will make you have all the feels of a broken heart. You're gonna fall in love all over again with these two characters. I give it 5 out of 5 stars. It is a winner in my book. It is a winner overall by many audiences. It's a timeless romance movie. I love the Empire State Building scene. It shows what somebody would do for love, and man, that was really like heartbreaking to watch, and also like heartwarming to watch how someone would endure or continue to have faith and hope that the situation would go the way he wanted it to go. And this is on top of the Empire State Building. Another beautiful, remarkable part of the film that I just adored, again, was the relationship between him and his grandmother. Watching that was beautiful, and also the relationship that unfolded between the grandmother, meeting Terry, and how beautiful that meeting was. Also, there's a phrase that Cary Grant used when he said goodbye to her, and I believe, if I am not mistaken, he went ahead and added that. It was not written in his dialogue, and they kept it. I love the way he says goodbye to his grandmother, and he says he turns around when they're leaving to go back to the ship, because the ship stopped in France. So he was able to take Terry to go visit his grandmother with him, and on their way out, he turns around and he says, happy thoughts. He doesn't say goodbye. You know, he doesn't have this long, you know, sad goodbye. He just says happy thoughts. And I thought that was really, really special and beautiful. And that, I believe he ad-libbed it. His daughter in an interview did say that he used to do that, you know, ad-lib some of his lines. And so they kept that one. And he also used to sign off, his signage would be also happy thoughts. So he put that in the movie as he said goodbye, as his way of saying goodbye to his grandmother. And his grandmother, I believe she is like 90 years old at that time. So I thought that was really special, especially the fact that, you know, it got me teary-eyed, that whole meeting with her, because you never know when somebody has reached that age. Every day is special. Every day is an honor to see them, to meet them, to meet them again, to see them again, to say I love you, to just spend time with them, because you don't know when the last day will come, because now the life, you know, is shortened each year. You just never know when will be the last year or the last day that you will have with that person. So I thought that was a beautiful way of saying goodbye to her. By the way, Nikki, played by Cary Grant, he is very well known to be dating rich women. Like, meeting Terry changed him, and he became a better man with being with her in this short span of time on this ship. He just was so enamored by her, and they were enamored with each other. And also, before I leave, I'm gonna give you a little hint of something special between them. And actually, they did have a very, very special moment together. They kissed, but you will never see this kiss. I mean, I haven't a kiss like this before in any other film, and you will know why when you see the filming of how they filmed their first kiss. I thought it was beautiful. I thought that it was so unique and so special, and you have to see this. You have to see how it was portrayed, how it was filmed, and I thought that was so clever, how their first kiss was shown to the audience. You will see Nikki flirting with her. She is a rich woman as well, so he's known to do this. So he's flirting with her, and he's showcasing all of his tricks, all of his swag to Terry, and she is not falling for it really. She's not, you know, in the beginning of their conversation, she's not really trying to go for the lines and stuff like that. But their banter back and forth is so funny and so I don't know, it's just so cool and just so relaxed and funny and clever and witty and sarcastic at the same time. You are going to be very, very much entertained by this classic romantic love story. An Affair to Remember, 1957, starring Cary Grant and Deborah Kerr. And on that note, guys, I think I have said enough without hopefully spoiling this movie for you. I think there's so many surprises left, so much left to see. What I said is very small amount of what this movie embodied. And I do see how this movie has stayed such a classic through all these years. It is a timeless romantic movie. And on that note, guys, I'll see you on the next one.